And I was having some stomach issues. Thought maybe, it wasn't nothing major or anything until I started passing blood. Once I started passing blood, the actual stomach pain got worse. So I decided that I needed to go to the doctor. The doctor comes in, he talks to me for a few minutes, never tells me the news till Janet walks in. When Janet walks in, I could tell that it was pretty bad. And as soon as she walks in and looks at me, I said, "It's cancer, isn't it?" I told her at that point everything was going to be fine. Not to worry, that my God's bigger than cancer. And He is.
Everything was fine other than he was losing blood, and they didn't know where he was losing blood from. But at this point, the doctor says, we can just let you be under observation, because he wanted to wait out for Monday morning for that surgeon. Needless to say, we didn't make it till Monday morning.
They're taking me out of the room. I'm holding everybody's hands, and everybody's touching me and talking and crying, and I just turn and look at my girls. I said, "God's got this." I said, "I'll be back in a couple hours." And when I get back, I said, we might stumble a little bit. I said, but God's got it. I said, "Don't worry." And I could just see that look on her face was like, how can you stay so positive at a time like this? And that's whenever I grabbed her hand, and I got pretty snug with her hand, and I said, "Just trust me, God's got this. It's gonna be all right." And the door shut.
They removed 12 or 15 lymph nodes. And on Thursday, we got the pathology report from that, and there was one microcell of cancer that had came through the colon wall and entered a lymph node. And so that was, to me, another gut punch, because that meant that we automatically went to a stage 3 colon cancer diagnosis. I'll never forget that day. Preaching that morning was on healing, and he did an altar call. And before I could even look up, Tiki was halfway down. And he's at that altar, and the evangelist had gone around and talked to different people, and he comes to Tiki and he looks at Tiki and he says, "You're sick." And Tiki nods his head and says, "Yes."
Lifts up the front of my shirt and shows him that my whole abdomen is wrapped in gauze and bandages. And he's like, "You've got cancer." I said, "Yes, sir."
And he says, "Can I pray over you?" And of course, we're like, absolutely. And I'll never forget, at the end of that prayer, he looks at Tiki and he says, "God says you're healed." The next days ahead were not easy. Still more doctor's appointments, still more surgeries. Chemo started in July and went all the way to February of 2018. Through it all, I've never seen this man lose his faith. Through every chemo treatment, no matter how hard or how bad he felt, one thing I can say is, as a wife, I wouldn't have made it through this journey without God. Because on the days when I felt like my world was crumbling, He was there to hold my hand, to pick me up, and to tell me everything's gonna be okay.
We serve an awesome God. We serve a loving God. We serve a forgiving God. And all you got to do, the greatest thing is to ask Him for forgiveness, and He's there. And through those trial times, He's carrying you because He loves you. I love my God, and I know He loves me, and He's the reason that I'm sitting here today. Yes, He gave the doctors the knowledge to get me to where I'm at, but He's the true physician, and He's the reason I'm here. By the grace of God and being very blessed and touched by the healing of God, July will be 6 years that I've been cancer-free.
Amen.